Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy Now with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and on this video I will talk about the supports on the current PvP meta and about the forgotten support character, profession, the Tempest healer. Yeah, I wanted to show you on this video if you can still play it or not, if it's still viable or not, and how you can use it effectively and what you should do and what not. Now the elementalist got a little bit forgotten because he's more than a point healer and he has more abilities to support the team than others. But for example, the firebrand supports the team better and has also nice healing output and applies stability and protection to his allied friends, while the elementalist gives more boons. For example, the fire aura gives a fire shield that will grant might and burn the enemy once they attack them. So for example, this one here is really strong for necros, scourges. Flesh freeze is just there for defensive reasons. It will deal a little bit damage, chill the enemy, and give you a frost aura which reduces the incoming damage. So one is defensive, one is for attacking, and then you can also choose either to get a stun breaker or you use aftershock. But we are not using any stun breakers because we have here on overloads, we have all the stun breakers when we overload a skill. Now the mobility is a point that is really necessary to mention, because the Tempest healer has not the best mobility, but he's still pretty strong when he's on a point and healing. The good thing about him is he has interrupting skills, which is pretty awesome. You can interrupt the enemies whenever you want with either Gale, lightning overload, air overload better said. Then you have on water, you have here Comet, which is also a stun. You can chill the enemies, be annoying, cripple them. You can avoid combat, you have a lot of auras, you can make yourself invulnerable, remove conditions, apply magnetic wave, reflect incoming projectiles, and so on and so on. Now let's just watch the enemy team. That's what I wanted to see. We have here a team without condition players, so we can go for only heal. So that's why we use Rune of the Water with Magi Amulet. I forgot to mention, yes, Sigil of Energy, Sigil of Cleansing. We can stay with those two. I forgot to swap those two, but you can stay with them because there are no healing. You can write here down healing. There are no skills that benefit, sigils that benefit your healing output, so we stay with condition cleanse and with damage output. For those people who already know how I play my Tempest, they know what I will start with Overload Air, so we can give ourselves quick swiftness boost to us and to our allied friends, and immediately when the game starts we just start it like this. We have it up here, we go with combo expo finisher here 3 and 4, and then we can go on fire, use fire 3 to have a little bit more mobility, start with overload fire to get an extra aura, and then we can just watch the game now. Okay, we have a firebrand here, so we have to focus onto this guy. He will try to attack me with his Basilisk Venom attack. We apply this. Now we can stun them here. We can do this, chill them a little bit. Chill one more time, try to interrupt, I was a little bit too late. Now heal my allied friends. Give them a frost aura now. And as you can see it here, the frost aura works pretty nice and solid. We can now try to immobilize the druid, so he will die once he's immobilized. He won't be able to dodge. And now we have to just apply damage onto this. Attack, attack, attack. Now we can already start the next here. This guy, the thief. He seems to be the squishiest one. We chill him, we interrupt him, and we have him down now. We use our healing skill to heal the Scourge, and as you can see it here, the healing output is awesome. We need to dodge his attack. We stun him now. We activated his stability. Now we can go on to the next target. which is the thief. Yeah, this guy wants to attack me. He can't do that. We better go and support now this guy here, the Scourge again. He needs some healing. We heal him up here. We heal him up. We can use the healing skill to heal him even more. And as you can see here, we won't let him die so easily. We just keep on healing him like that. We can interrupt the warrior. We can give another shock aura. We interrupt him now, but my friends are too late. He got healed up. We have now 2 points, and as you can see here, it is pretty easy to hold up my entire team alive as a solo healer, which is pretty nice. We apply this. We can immobilize this guy. We go for the stomp with our invulnerable, so no one can interrupt us. Okay, so we can now focus onto the guy here. We apply the fire aura, so we will also deal a lot of damage with burning to our enemies here. We apply this. We apply damage. We apply damage. Don't think that we are not doing any damage. We are doing damage. We do this shock aura, and then we can just interrupt this guy. We interrupted him from using his healing skill. We activate overload so we get stability, and we can stomp here. As you can see here, combat healer can be really annoying. Oh. We already have this guy here. We will immobilize him now, and my team can attack him, but they are a little bit too slow with attacking him, so never mind. We can now run on the midpoint. If my allied friend here watches this point, we can now focus onto the warrior. We can again overload now. We can overload, gain stability and swiftness, and then we are able to just try to stun this guy. He already stunned me. We will now keep our allied friends here alive. We can go for the stomp with obsidian flash, and then we can just follow up now. We activate overload earth to just immobilize the enemies. We can now come on, interrupt the firebrand, because air 5 is unblockable, which is pretty nice. We give a fire aura. We lay down this. We apply another fire aura to just have the damage output. We apply burning, chill, another fire aura. We have 2 caps, so it will be more than enough. Okay. We just auto attack this guy. We would deal not so much damage, but it is a little bit enough, I would say. We do this, chill him. We activated his what's the name of it, Ender Pain. He won't be able to successfully get away from this. We cripple and immobilize him, and we have him here. We activate Earth Shield so we reflect his knockback, and we got this easily. As you can see it here, you are still pretty good if you have the team in your favor. I will say, how to say it, if you have a team that knows how to stay near the healer. If you have a team that always running away from you, it is hard to maintain that. We interrupt him here from the distance, and then we can just follow up, try to go on the other point. The game seems already over because, yeah, they were not able to get any team fight. I was able to interrupt the enemy firebrand when he had no stability, and that's all about it basically. You just are awesome if you know how to use it. I mean, I don't know how to say it. Can you compare it to a firebrand? Not really. Firebrand is more stronger because of the stability, because he can give you stability, is pretty important. With stability, enemies won't be able to interrupt you. We interrupt him now. We dodge his what's the name of it, we chill him, and as you can see it here, with chill he walks slower and it's annoying as hell. Now Tempest got a little bit forgotten, but if you know how to play it, if you know how to focus an enemy, I would recommend it to use it even before Firebrand, because Firebrand has also the slow mobility, same as the Tempest here. Now the point of the Tempest is that you are a little bit trickier to kill because you have here obsidian flash, which is a really nice lifesaver. And yeah, just let's check it out. For how much? For 5-6 minutes that we played, how much healing do we got? We got healing output 300k for 5 minutes, which is in my opinion more than enough, if you can see it like this. Now what I tried to do more is to interrupt the enemies, which is also pretty important. Yeah, with the elementalist Tempest you have a lot of options what you can do and how you can avoid combat, and so on and so on. Now the factor that makes Tempest a little bit better than the firebrand, and I know a lot of people will now say, oh, what are you talking, firebrand is the best, and so on and so on. But with the Tempest you have more utility skills to interrupt the enemies. For example, here Gale is unblockable knockdown for 3 seconds, which is pretty annoying, and once the enemy is knocked down he will stay there for 3 seconds, which is a lot, or he has to stun break. The next is Shocking Aura, is one of the most annoying auras out there. It will give all your allied friends, of course because of the build, protection, plus for 4 seconds the Shocking Aura, which will stun the enemy when they attack them. And this is every 2 seconds, so if an enemy attacks you twice within those 4 seconds he will get stunned twice, which is really annoying. Then you have Shocking Aura a third time, not the third time, a second time, and it is same really annoying. Plus if you activate Overload Air, if after the last charge here, you will also stun the enemy with the lightning field, which is pretty annoying. Then the ability to apply boons to your allied friends, for example swiftness, regeneration and so on, is also pretty nice. And the damage reduction, permanent damage reduction you can say, because you will get Frost Aura a lot of times, plus you will proc it with your build every 20 seconds, and you have it here. And when you pop up water you have it on the overload. You have combo finisher blast. If you have an allied friend who can apply water field, for example the druid or a scrapper engineer, you can apply an extra healing, which is also pretty nice. And you have of course the AoE team healing with your shouts. The next is of course rebound. You have an extra aura for every aura what you need. If you need a magnetic aura you can go on earth. If you need frost aura, shocking aura, you can go with that. That's what I wanted to say with the third shocking aura. Now the point is, if you know how to use Tempest correctly, you will be able to do everything with it. You will be able to remove conditions from your allied friends, or what I wanted to say is, if you have enemies that are only, let's say 2 scourges in the mesmer or something like that, you can go with the rune of the soldier. Rune of the soldier shouts remove conditions from each affected ally, which is pretty nice because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shouts that we can use, 5 extra condition cleanses for them and ourselves of course. Then we have overload water, which will remove every second conditions from us and from our allied friends, which is also pretty nice, and you should use it wisely, not just randomly. And then keep in mind these stuns. Now let's go, we start with the fire attunement, because it is one that a lot of people just think it is useless and don't use it, blah blah blah, so on and so on. Now fire 1 is there to just be a little bit annoying and apply damage, especially good to downed enemies, because downed enemies just are downed and you can apply damage like this. As you can see it here, you can apply burning, and the burning stacks really nice. You can see it here, up to 800 burning stacks, which is pretty nice. And when you activate all your burning skills, you have it here, you can see it here how much damage you deal. You deal decent damage, I will say, plus the burning will tick nice, especially good if you have downed enemies, as I just mentioned. Then the next is also on downed enemies, overload air. Always use that, because the lightning field will make your allied friends attacks so they will stun. Leap attacks, better said, spell breakers and holosmiths will stun the enemies when they leap, which is pretty annoying. Shocking Aura is there for defensive reasons. You can just randomly use it or just when you think the best it is to use. Normally in team fights, use it as fast as possible, because it is always nice if you have 4 allied friends, all of them have Shocking Aura, and one of the enemies has no stability and he will get stunned the entire time, which is pretty annoying. Swirling Winds is, yeah, you can use it randomly, or I recommend to use it when you have, for example, as we had the Druid, when he's there we can use this and just absorb all projectiles within the radius of this skill. Gale is pretty important. It has a long cooldown, so keep on using it wisely. As you saw, I used it to interrupt the enemy firebrand and he got knocked down for 3 seconds and we were able to hunt him down like that. With Overload Air, you can use it at the beginning of the fight to get the swiftness combo finisher. So your team has, all of your team will grant swiftness, give granted swiftness, and they will be able to run faster on the points, which is pretty nice. Then the next thing on the fire I forgot to mention is keep on just auto attacking, because you deal maybe 100 or 200 damage, but if you hit the enemy like this, how to say it, from a close range, you will hit up to 600 damage per second, which is pretty nice. Then the next thing is when you overload fire near a downed enemy, you will apply burning and damage, plus when you go then on water you can apply area might and get yourself another fire shield. You can see it here, fire shield, which is a nice combo to know for an extra aura, for an extra healing, and it is just nice to have. Fire overload applies a fire field, and when you leap with your combo finisher on Earth 3, you will get an extra aura from that. Now on Earth, as I already mentioned, is try to immobilize the enemy, cripple them, and then just cripple again with your overload and try to stay near them to immobilize them one more time. Then you have Magnetic Wave. It will remove 3 conditions from you, plus it is a blast finisher. With water field or any other field you will get either might, swiftness or water, extra healing, and so on and so on. The good thing here is it will cripple the enemy, plus it will remove 3 conditions, and it will reflect incoming projectiles, which is pretty strong. You can see it here. And then you have Obsidian Flash, which allows you to turn into this stone form, and you will receive no damage, but keep in mind conditions will still affect you. On water we talked already about that. And then the last is water. Keep your cone of cold like this to your allied friend and heal them up no matter where they are. Just keep attack your allied friends with it. Then the auto attack is also pretty nice to know. You can just auto attack and apply vulnerability, and vulnerability, as you can see here, we have already 10 stacks, will affect your team as well. They will deal 10% more damage during that. The next is Frozen Burst, also a combo finisher blast, plus it will chill the enemy, which is pretty annoying. And Freezing Gust is there if you have an enemy. As you saw, we were chasing the warrior. I just applied this, a stun, and chill, so he will not be able to run away so fast with the chill. Then we have Water Overload, as I already mentioned it. Use it to heal your allied friend and to remove conditions from them, which is pretty strong. And at the ending it will apply another Frost Aura to your friends. Now what are auras and what they do? With this build you will apply auras to your friends and they will get additional, they will all get the aura, plus they will get the healing from them. Now to the build, I use Sigil of Energy for survivability reasons. More dodging is good for us. We will be able to avoid getting hit, getting immobilized, and so on and so on. Sigil of Cleansing, nice to have, because on the current metas with the Scourges you will remove always a condition when you weapon swap, Attunement swap better said. And then we use Magi Amulet, which is new and makes elementalist Tempest again a little bit stronger, because back then he had less healing power, but now he has again a stronger healing power and will be able to heal your allied friends a little bit more. Rune of the Water is there for the boon duration, healing, and the additional healing when you use your healing skill. Now for the build Water Soothing Ice, every 20 seconds we will get Frost Aura plus 4 and a third, 4th second, how to say it right, and regeneration, which will be 4 seconds frost aura, which will heal us, plus reduce incoming damage for 10 seconds, for 4 seconds by 10% for us and our allied friends. I forgot to mention that. And yeah, this is every 20 seconds when we get critical hit. Or when we critically hit, yeah. Cleansing wave, remove conditions from nearby allies when attuning to water. This is just nice because we will use water a lot of times to just heal and clean them up. Yeah, then we have any aura you grant yourself is granted to nearby allies. This is pretty nice. As you can see here, number of targets 5 in a radius of 600. Perfectly, when you fight on a point, they will get healed, they will get aura, and so on and so on. Which means this every 20-second aura will also be granted to our allied friends. On Earth we have elemental shielding. Every time we apply an aura, we will get protection extra with it. 2.25 seconds or 2.5 seconds. It should be more normally. I don't know. How long is it? Yeah, it is like this. I thought we have a little bit longer boon duration. Then we have Geomancer's training. This is there to reduce the incoming chill, cripple, and immobilize. Duration plus earth weapon skills have reduced recharge by 20%, which is pretty nice, especially because we have here Obsidian Flash. If we don't use it, it has a 50 seconds cooldown, and like this it has a 10 seconds shorter cooldown, which is pretty nice. And Magnetic Wave has a 20 seconds cooldown, nice to remove conditions and cripple enemies. Blast finisher, really strong. The last is I use Diamond Skin because it is pretty strong. Before, how to say it, if our health is above the threshold of 75%, we will remove every second one condition, which is pretty nice because we can keep our HP above 75% pretty easily, and especially at the beginning of the fight, if you get con deboned, it is pretty nice to have. And also if you 1v1 someone. The Tempest one is unstable conduit. It will allow us, after we finish overloads, to grant an additional aura, as I already mentioned that. Then we have harmonious conduit. It is overloads give ourselves stability for almost 5 seconds, plus this harmonious conduit damage boost, which is only good when we use air attunement because we will deal good damage with it, and fire attunement overload, which will also deal nice damage with it, a 10% damage boost. Overloads grant protection. Protection gains increased damage reduction, which is also pretty nice. Every time we overload, we will get an additional protection plus the protection from the aura, which should be then up to 5 seconds or even more protection. And the incoming damage from protection is reduced by 40%, not 33%, which is also pretty nice. So normal DPS enemies will have a hard time killing us. Elemental Bastion, every 30 seconds heal allies. You grant an aura to grant frost aura to nearby allies when struck while below the health threshold. This is every time we get under 75% HP. Better said, every time, every 30 seconds we will get an additional frost aura, and the frost auras will heal us 1.2k or a little bit more even with a healing power. So we have 1, 2, plus we have the 3, 4, 5. 5 times we can use frost aura, which is pretty nice, or you can use it only 4 times, it is also nice. And yeah, what else can I say? Rune of the Water can be swapped for Radiance. Oh my goodness, Radiance. The options that you have, Radiance, which will give you a little bit more HP, so you will have the Diamond Skin a little bit better. If you have 16.7k HP, you will get the boon of this, which will be nice, and the duration of your auras you apply is stronger, which means I recommend to use this if you have only DPS enemies. Either this Rune of Radiance or the one for the water. Rune of the Radiance has the one good thing that when you use your healing skill, you will get additional healing because you will get an extra light aura, and light aura reduces as well incoming damage from conditions. plus it will heal 1.2k or 2k with the additional healing of the normal shout healing here, which is pretty nice. You can see it here. You can activate an aura. It will be now for 5 seconds instead of 4, which is pretty nice. Or as I mentioned, soldier one, it will give you also additional vitality, a little bit more toughness, which is not so much, but where is it? Soldier one, yes, like this. A little bit more toughness, which is not so important, but you get the extra additional HP, plus you will remove every time a condition when you use those against conditioning professions, or otherwise, yeah, just use water one for the max healing output, which is pretty nice. Normally you had 2 sigils to apply healing to our allied friends when you auto attack, which was pretty strong, but they removed them, so it is only for yourself now, a little bit better, because you have like this a little bit more survivability for yourself. Now to compare it with the other ones, as I already mentioned, Firebrand has stability, condition remove, and what else does he have? I just have to think a little bit about it. Yeah, only those 2. Plus he has some decent Aegis, which will block attacks and heal you up. He has also nice healing. So compared to the healing factor, they should be equal. But if you watch this video, you just saw with the elementalist you can do more things. You can be more annoying to enemies. You can interrupt them, immobilize them, and just be annoying, which you can't really be with Firebrand. I mean, the Firebrand has also some knockbacks and so on, but they are not so effective as those from the elementalist. For example, the unblockable stun on air, the double immobilize on earth, the chills with the water attunement. With fire you can apply auras, which will grant might and just strengthen your allied friends, and so on and so on. Now the auras are also really nice because they protect your allied friends with damage reduction plus chill, which is so annoying. If you play this game, if you get chilled from reapers and so on, you know how annoying it is to get chilled. Skill recharge is reduced, movement speed is also decreased, which is also pretty annoying. It is just, I don't know how to say it. If you know how to play Tempest right, you will enjoy it. To the skills, you should use those 3 always, because they have the shortest cooldown and they are there for healing, and for most of the times for healing, but also for the auras which you need. The last one here I use most of the times Aftershock, because it is pretty nice with a magnetic aura, which will reflect projectiles, and it will cripple and immobilize enemies. Plus, not to mention that it is a combo finisher blast. Now it has a 45 seconds cooldown, so you can swap it for either Eye of the Storm, which is a stun break for you and your allied friends, which is pretty nice, and it gives you super speed for a movement boost, so you can run away a little bit from difficult situations, I would say. Or you can use here Lightning Flash, which got also a little bit long cooldown with 40 seconds, but it will allow you to port onto certain spots and get out of combat with it like that. Another thing that you can use, and that I used a little often, was Signet of Air. It has a 20 seconds cooldown, but now it has a 25 one. It will grant increased movement speed, so you will be able to walk faster, but you don't really need that because you have always swiftness. But the good thing here is it is a stun breaker, it is a short stun breaker, plus it will apply blindness and vulnerability to enemies, which is pretty nice when you stomp an enemy or just want to interrupt a elite skill like this. And for the elite, I always recommend to use Rebound. It has a 5k healing, plus it will apply an aura, plus it will have this rebound boon on you. If you get almost killed for those 5 seconds, you will get the healing, as I mentioned, the 5k healing, plus an aura on which attunement you are. So I recommend to go on water activated, and if you get almost killed, you will get the healing plus the frost aura, and then you can use with water some chill and heal yourself a little bit more up and be safe again. Or on earth, because you have here obsidian flash. Once you pop this up, once you get the HP, immediately pop it up, shield, go for overload, and then you will be safe for a few seconds more. That was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you saw that the Tempest is not dead yet. And on my next video I maybe try out the, what's the name of it? I just have to watch it for a second. What's the name of it? Weaver, yes, I always forget it. The Weaver. I need to do a few games with it because I haven't played it, and I only played DPS, Fresh Air Elementalist a while, so I played no other builds, only the Tempest and Fresh Air, so I need to get into that a little bit again. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you saw what the support can do. He's not only there to heal your friends or to apply some boons, he can also be annoying with interrupting enemies and yeah, apply conditions to them. Now you will see as always 3 of my other videos, and you can also subscribe to my channel only if you like to. If not, don't do it. And that was Happy No with a new PvP video. I see you on my next videos, guys. Bye bye.